Hello everybody and welcome to today's live lesson. Looking forward to today's live lesson. It's all on, well, a very popular topic, family. We're going to be looking at vocabulary, some idioms, some listening activities, fun and games to help you with this topic, especially for IELTS speaking, but also general conversations. Yes, family. Let's get into it with a little bit of this.
It's time. Yo. Yeah, go get your coffee. It's time to join the Keith Speaking Academy. It's time for a live lesson. Fun games and idioms. Go get your tea, go get your coffee. It's time to join the Keith Speaking Academy. It's time for a live lesson. Fun games and idioms.
Fun games and idioms. IELTS preparation has never been so much fun. Well, today we're talking about family. You may have noticed my setting has changed. We've not moved house. I'm just not at home. I'm traveling at the moment. And so I'm in this Airbnb, basically, doing all my own cooking and stuff, but just for a short time. It ties in nicely with this topic of family that we're looking at today. Let's see who is in the house. We've got Mamura. I've got flashing lights for some strange reason. Mamura, just let me make this a little bit bigger. We've got Ben Fatou Mamina. Nice to see you. Good morning. I'm very, very well. Is that Miguel? Nice to see you here as well. Madalena. Hello, everybody. We've got people from Slovakia, Zimbabwe, Maria Jesus from Malta. We've got Julia. Hello, Julia from Myanmar, an not old student, a long-time student. Judith, nice to see you here as well. We've got students, Iwona, one of our gold course students, all the way from Poland. Nice to see you here as well. This is not only for members, this is for everybody, right? If you have become a YouTube channel member, thank you so much. I can see some of you have joined today. I do appreciate that. A big, big, big thank you for joining the channel. It helps me maintain all the videos and the live lessons that I do. We do a live lesson once a month, the first Thursday of every month at this time. Hello from Ukraine. Lovely to see you here as well. From Benin, nice to see you. Lissy, great to see you here as well. We've also got not only South Africa, but Bangladesh, Turkey, all around the world. Wahid is here from Pakistan. And we've even got a buenos dias. Nora, nice to see you. Lots of our gold students are here, which is lovely as well. And also India and Somaliland. So basically all over the world, people are joining us for this lesson. I hope it's going to be useful and give you lots of ideas, vocabulary, practice and ways to review and study your English today. Okay, so I'm looking forward to it. What was I going to do? I was going to share with you that if you follow me on social media, I am over there on Facebook and Instagram. And if you haven't seen the website, I run Keith Speaking Academy. It's a website to help you improve your speaking skills, particularly if you are practicing or preparing for IELTS speaking. You can go over to the Keith Speaking Academy and you can find lots of information about the test, about the different parts of the test. All of these free live lessons we have, they are kept here. You can download the PDF later today. And all the past lessons, well, they are down here. So if you want to check out past topics about work, about study, there are lots of lessons here that you can get. And if you want to go even deeper with your study, you can come and find out about the different courses that I have, the IELTS speaking courses. We've got writing and reading courses for IELTS and general speaking skills. If you want to focus on vocabulary, grammar, or idioms, all of it is on the website. Good. Enough of that. let's have a look at today's lesson. What are we going to study in today's lesson? Let me show you. I'll just go through, in case any of you are new here, let me just go through the different activities that we're going to do. Family, that's the topic, right? So what I'd like to do today is discover some language with a story. So I've got a story of this young chap over here. This young chap is called Lee from China, and we're going to discover some language through the story of Lee. Okay. I'll then analyze some of the vocabulary so you fully understand it and can see how to use it and when to use it. We'll be doing a listening activity. It's a listening bingo where you can try and win and develop your listening skills as well. After that, I've got a joke, family joke. I am going to look at some idioms as well today, not to forget. But I want to tell you some tips. I've got some tips about strange lights. No, about making vocabulary stick. It's a real challenge when you're learning vocabulary to get it to stick here and to get it to come out here, to use it, right? A lot of the time, it just kind of, it flies away. It disappears. So I'm going to help you make your vocabulary stick today. A few tips. At the end of the lesson today, we've got Kahoot, which is a game. It's a way to review the vocabulary. So no sleeping in the lesson. Stay awake, stay alert, make notes, and I'll be testing you at the end of the session today. Okay, and that is what we've got in store for today. Great. Elvira, it's interesting you noticed the butterflies, right? They came through the window and they just made their home on the fridge. The weather's quite nice. I'm in the south of Spain. I'm near Murcia. Down in the south. It's not hot, and in fact it's forecast for rain, but actually those are not, obviously they're not real butterflies, but they are quite nice, aren't they? What a lovely kitchen. I know, it's really, really nice. I'm really impressed with the kitchen. So Juan Manuel, thank you very much, who has hosted me here. Good. Guys, I'm just checking who else is here. We've got people from Afghanistan. Lovely to see you. Leticia from Paris. Bayezid, thank you so much. Lovely to see you here. And who else we got? Well, Rome. Agresti, great. Indonesia, great. And Dubai, great. Lovely. All of you in the Middle East, stay safe, my friends. Let's focus on today's lesson. If you've just arrived, we're looking at the topic of family, and we're going to be helping you develop and use language for this topic. Okay, let's begin with a bit of a warm-up. So to warm up, I'm going to kind of test you. Okay, I would like you to fill in the gap with one word. There are 3 gaps, and you can just type the missing word in the chat. 1, 2, and 3. Let me read it, and you can start guessing the word. These sentences are connected about one person. Jane has no blank. She is an blank child. She lives in a blank neighborhood far from the city. All the words are connected. Think about it. The words are connected. Try and fill in the gaps with one word. Okay? Great. Merion Thego from Bangladesh, thank you so much for joining the course. Lovely to see you here. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting answers. Nice to see you here, Eva. Right. Okay. Very, very interesting. So there are kind of people who are looking at Jane as being having no brothers or sisters, and people looking at her having no parents, right? Interesting. So I'm going to look at both of those because both are correct. But what I was thinking, right, is Jane has no siblings. Okay, she has no siblings. So sibling is your brother and sister. So she is an one child? No. We don't say she is an one child. We say she's an only child, right? She's an only child. And she lives in a... Now, I was thinking remote, but a few of you have said quiet. Absolutely remote, quiet. In the town, in the city, no, because it says far from the city. So remote and quiet are probably going to be the most likely answers, right? Secluding, almost. Natalia, you said secluding, not secluding, but secluded, right? Secluded, because you're describing the area, it's secluded, yeah? Absolutely, we could say that as well. Daniela, she lives in the middle of nowhere. Very, very true. Peaceful, some of you said. A peaceful neighborhood. Yeah, absolutely. Peaceful is also a possibility. So there are quite a few possibilities. The important thing to notice is it's far from the city. So it's in the countryside, most likely, right? Now, the other option that I had not thought about, but it's absolutely possible. So some of you have said Jane has no parents. So she is an orphaned child. Orphaned. Yeah. You can say she is an orphan. Whoops. An orphan as a noun. Or she is orphaned. As an adjective. So I hadn't thought of that, but you're absolutely right. Those of you who looked at that option, you could say Jane has no parents. She is an orphan child because the an works with orphaned. Yeah, so if you're using the adjective, she is an orphaned child. That's great. If you're using a noun, she would say she is an orphan. 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 Notice it's not orphan. The fan becomes fun because it's not stressed. Fun. Orphan. And the stress on the or. Orphan. Can you say that? Orphan. Or. Look at the mouth. Orphan. Orphan. Fun. Orphan. She's an orphan. Orphaned. Orphaned. She's an orphaned child. I'm listening carefully. Good. Very good. Great. Okay. Nice. Good. So you've all done very, very well there. Was there any question? Can be rural, somebody asked. She lives in a rural neighborhood. Yes. Yep, can be. There are probably other words with a similar meaning. Rural is a nice word. So yes, absolutely. You can say that. Good question. Anything else? There was another question I saw that caught my eye. Where did you go? Oh, it's disappeared. Oh, here we go. What's the difference between outskirts and remote? Well, outskirts refers to the area outside the city. So it's the opposite of in the city. It's outside the city. Outskirts can be remote also. It can mean the same, but remote is a wider meaning. If you live in the countryside, far away from the city, far away from the outskirts, it's still remote. So remote is far away from everything. Far away. Outskirts means just around the city. There's the city and the outskirts are around the city. So different meaning, but they can be the same thing, right? Some outskirts are remote. Some. Not all of them. Okay. Excellent. Good. Jane has no family. She's an abandoned child. But abandoned has a... No, it's a different... Well, yes, you could say that, right? Abandoned means that the parents left the child, right? They had the child and they left the child to go somewhere else. Orphan is the parents died. So it's a different situation. But you could say that. Yes, you could. Yes. Can we say they are orphans? They are orphans. Yes, but without the E. So let me just help you because this will help everybody. So just for the spelling, without the E, orphans, yeah? Yes, you can. Nice. Okay. How far? How long is a piece of string? It's subjective, right? It really is subjective. Isolated could be remote, isolated, secluded. Isolated is a bit more like secluded. So just to give you the kind of the feeling, where are we? Secluded and isolated. Let me just explain. It's a really good question, right? Secluded and isolated. So secluded and isolated are slightly negative. Slightly negative because it means too far away. So sometimes you say, well, this house is secluded or this house is isolated. The feeling is a bit negative. It's like, oh, it's not good. It's too far away. Remote, quiet, peaceful, rural is more positive. It's nice, right? It's comfortable. Isolated is slightly negative. Secluded, it can be both. It can be, I'm going to say secluded. I'm going to take secluded off. Secluded can be positive, thinking about it. I think isolated is slightly negative, yeah? That light, why is the light? The light's starting to annoy me. It's making so many strange things. So isolated, I think, is slightly negative. Secluded can be positive. I'm thinking about it. Okay. Remote, yeah, because you're doing it from a distance. That's why. Just notice remote is a noun if it's the TV remote, right? So if you're talking about a TV remote, it's a remote is also the thing to control the TV. A remote. The real name, of course, is a remote control. So a remote. I have one. That's a remote. It's a noun. However, the adjective remote, these are adjectives. Okay, just notice that. Very, very good. Let's move on. Before we move on, let's wish good luck to Yamzin, Bayam. Your exam after 5 days. Wish me luck. I do wish you lots of luck. And I'm also going to help you a little bit with your English, Yasmin. Instead of saying after 5 days, it sounds a bit strange. I understand, but more naturally, we would say my exam is in 5 days. Wish me luck. Wish you luck. I'm sure it will go very smoothly, Yamzin. Okay. Great. So we've warmed up. Are you feeling nice and warm? Let's move on and let's go and do we're going to do a story. Do you remember? We're going to start with a story. It's an IELTS speaking story. I like to use stories in IELTS because many people think about IELTS as being very boring, academic, not interesting. IELTS speaking can be super interesting. We can use stories to present language, to review language. Often in IELTS speaking part 2, you tell a kind of story. I call it an anecdote. An anecdote is a personal story. So stories are all over IELTS and it's just a bit more interesting. So we've got this story about family. It's called Rags to Riches. Rags to riches. I don't know if you know that expression, right? To go from rags to riches. Rags are old clothes. Riches, lots of money. So it means to go from poor to rich. You often get a lot of stories. We call it a rags to riches story, which means from poor to rich. Somebody's poor, and they become rich. A rags to riches story. Interesting. So we've got a rags to riches story. And it's about, well, this little boy and this little girl. Okay. What we're going to do is I would like you, well, let's start at chapter 1, right? Chapter 1 is called Roots. I want you to listen to the story and decide if the following is true or false. Number 1, this family has 4 people. Number 2, they live in the countryside. Number 3, they live on a rock. Is it true or false? Listen to the story and watch, and then decide, is it true or false? Number 1, this family has 4 people. Number 2, they live in the countryside. Number 3, they live on a rock. Okay, are you ready? Okay, let's do it. Let's watch. I need to switch camera. Okay, let's do it. Rags to riches. Chapter 1, Roots. In a small village in China, there was a boy named Li. Unlike many of his friends, who were only children, he had one sibling, a little sister, Xiao. They lived in a cozy home in a rural neighborhood. In fact, their village was really out in the sticks. The nearest shop was a 2-mile walk away. Their house wasn't big, but at the heart of it was the dining room. That's where the family gathered around the fireplace and shared meals, stories and laughter. Li's parents were amazing. They taught him so much, not just school stuff, but life lessons too. They raised and educated him with love. Whenever Li faced problems, they were there to lend a helping hand. Truly, his family was his rock. Right. Interesting. Let's see in your comments here, true or false. Let's have a look at what you've got. Yes. So you need to put the number and T or F. Let's have a look at what you've got.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Huh.
No.
Okay. Very, very interesting. So what you've got there, we've got a lot of a split. Half of you say one is true, half of you say false. Most of you say number 2 is true. That seemed to be pretty clear, right? They live in the countryside and the pictures. Live on the rock, a few of you said true. Some of you said false. The family has 4 people. I want you to think about who are the 4 people, if it's true or false. Let me show you one more time, and then we'll give you the answer. Okay? Here we go. In a small village in China, there was a boy named Li. Unlike many of his friends, who were only children, he had one sibling, a little sister, Xiao. They lived in a cozy home in a rural neighborhood. In fact, their village was really out in the sticks. The nearest shop was a 2-mile walk away. Their house wasn't big, but at the heart of it was the dining room. That's where the family gathered around the fireplace and shared meals, stories and laughter. Li's parents were amazing. They taught him so much, not just school stuff, but life lessons too. They raised and educated him with love. Whenever Li faced problems, they were there to lend a helping hand. Truly, his family was his rock. Okay. So the family, right? You are right. A lot of you have seen, right? We've got, some of you have said it. Let me find one of you who got it. A lot of you said true, true, true. Yes. There was some of you explained. True, 1 sibling and 2 parents. Exactly. So one sibling, so 1 brother or 1 sister. So there's 2 children, 2 parents. So absolutely true. Number 1 is true. They live on a rock. It says at the end that his family was a rock, which means his family is a foundation, is stability. They don't live on a rock. That's not true. They don't live on a rock. Somebody asked me, I think it was Sahed, you said, "What they live on a rock, what do you mean?" Yeah, I mean, it means that their house is built on a rock, which is very unusual. It's not really true. It's not true at all, right? They live on the countryside next to a river. I don't think anybody lives on a rock. Very few people build a house on a rock unless you live in Gibraltar. Gibraltar we often call the rock, right? In Spain, Gibraltar. And maybe some in Hong Kong, isn't there part of the area is kind of built on a rock? So it could be on a rock, but most people know. And definitely here, it's not they live on a rock. They said their family was a rock. Okay. What I want you to do now is I want you to listen to the story again. We're only going to listen. And I want you to write in the chat any family-related words. So the family-related words. For example, brother is a family-related word. For students preparing for IELTS, I often talk a lot about topic-specific vocabulary. And it is important. So topic-specific vocabulary is vocabulary you only use to talk about that topic. So, for example, topic-specific vocabulary about food could be kitchen, oven, nutrition, vegetables. It's very specific for that topic. Likewise, for every topic, there's topic-specific vocabulary. It's really important that you build that up to build your flexibility in IELTS. So I want you to note any family topic-specific vocabulary as we listen, right? Okay, let me do it again. One more time. Here we go. I'm going to do it slightly different this time, but it's the same story. Here we go.
Chapter 1, Roots. In a small village in China, there was a boy named Li. Unlike many of his friends who were only children, he had one little sister, Xiao. They lived in a cozy home in a rural neighborhood. In fact, their village was really out in the sticks. The nearest shop was a 2-mile walk away. Their house wasn't big, but at the heart of it was the dining room. That's where the family gathered around the fireplace and shared meals, stories and laughter. Ha ha! Lee's parents were amazing. They taught him so much, not just school stuff, but life lessons too. They raised and educated him with love. Whenever Lee faced problems, they were there to lend a helping hand. Truly, his family was his rock.
There you go. Very, very simple. Great. Some of you have put in, great, you've got extra words. Siblings, grandparents is an extra one. Yes, your parents' parents. Relatives, cousins. Very, very nice. Children, good. Alexandra, good to see you. You've got some extra ones. Grandpa, grandma, uncle, cousins. Very, very nice. Yes. Stepfather, Jennifer. Jenna. That's a different one as well. Parent. Yes. Siblings. Oh, Harry, thanks for your comment about the Rock Mountain, right? In Lion Rock Mountain. Yes. Cozy home. Could be for the family. Yep. Elvira, I don't know where the commercials are coming from. There shouldn't be any commercials in the live. Siblings, parents, only child. Very, very good. Here we've got a lot. Very nice. Lovely. So these are from the story. Excellent. Parents, raised, helping hand. Yep, very, very good. Nice. Let me go back. I'll just go through. So we've got Lee, unlike many of his friends who were only children. So only children is the plural. We say an only child, but if there are lots of the other friends were only children, because it's plural. One sibling, little sister, right? A little sister is a younger sister. In England, in English and in England, I'm not sure about America, but in England we talk about my big brother is your older brother and your little sister is your younger sister. Home, right? Specific about family. Rural neighborhood, it's connected to family. I think where you live is connected to family. It's where the family gathered round the fireplace. Okay. Parents, absolutely. Raised and educated. So to raise children, to bring them up. Educated, to bring them up, to raise them. And here at the end we had his family was his rock. His family was his rock, meaning his family was his foundation, his stability in life. Okay. Excellent. Good. There are a couple of other words. I'm just going to explain a couple of these words that were in here. One of them was, their village was really out in the sticks. Out in the sticks means far away from the city. So the sticks are the branches of the tree. So if you're living out in the trees, it kind of means in the countryside. Not in the city, but in nature, far away. So out in the sticks is similar to rural, remote, far away, etc. Their house wasn't big, but at the heart of it means in the center, because your heart is in the center of the body, kind of. So when we say it's at the heart of, it's in the center. You can say, at the heart of the city, there's a beautiful cathedral. At the heart of my Airbnb is the dining room table. At the heart of my house is the fireplace, where we all sit and read books together. At the heart of, in the center, in the middle, right? Lend a helping hand, which somebody mentioned, just means to help. It's a really nice way to say to help. To give a hand or to lend a hand is to help. To lend a helping hand is emphatic. It just means, yes, to help. To help. To help. That's it. Okay, cool. Let me check in with you. Oh, Fatima and Suksra, thank you so much. Some interesting expressions. Yes, you've talked about a nuclear family, extended family. So the nuclear family is the parents and the children. It's the small family. Extended is with the grandparents, the uncle, the auntie, the cousins. Nuclear, small, extended, big family. Great. Yes, and that's a really nice summary there, all the different things that you have. I'm just going to help you a little bit because you brought up the idea of, at the very, very end of your list, you've got brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Just be careful, it's not low, but law, and it's probably just a typo, right? So your brother-in-law is, well, it's your well, I'll do my sister-in-law because I have a sister-in-law. Sister-in-law is my brother's wife, right? That's my sister-in-law. My brother-in-law would be my sister's husband, usually, right? Thanks for sharing. Great, good. At the heart, same in Arabic. Great. Sorry for my interrupting. Don't be sorry, really. It's absolutely fine. Can we call mum or dad a parent as a single noun? Yes, your mum is a parent. Your dad is a parent. A mum and a father. Absolutely, single noun. Yes. And then you've got, of course, mother-in-law, father-in-law. So that's my wife's parents, parents-in-law. Right? In law, because the connection is not blood, the connection is legal. There's a legal connection. When you marry, there's a legal connection. It's not a blood connection. So we say parents-in-law. Okay. Good. Excellent. Good. Let me see where we are. Where are we? I'm going to check in with my lesson plan to see where we are. I know we're on the topic of family. If you're just joining us, welcome. We're talking about family. We've been discovering some language with a story, but I want to go into a bit more detail in some of the vocabulary to make it really clear how you can use it. Because one thing is having a list of words. Another thing is knowing how to use them. And I mean the collocation, the grammar, the context, the example of the word, and the pronunciation. So let's take 4 key words and go deep into how to use them. Here we go. Sibling is the first one. Okay, sibling. So the phonetics is sibling, sibling. You're stressing the first thingamajig, syllable. Thingamajig. Sibling, a sibling, meaning a brother or a sister. For example, I have 2 siblings. If you're at home on your own, repeat with me. Practice your speaking and your pronunciation. Sibling. I have 2 siblings. a younger sister, a younger brother. The same thing is a little sister, a little brother. Little. I know it's British, not American, not little. Little. A little sister. Lidl is a supermarket round the corner. A little sister, a little brother. Likewise, we talk about an older sister, an older brother. That's very colloquial. Probably a bit more formal is an elder sister, an elder brother. You can use both. If you're writing, I suggest you write an elder sister, an elder brother. This is the more correct one. But in spoken English, we often say an older sister, an older brother, right? And we also say in spoken English, a big sister, a big brother. I'm going to put this more as colloquial. So only for speaking, right? Don't use this in writing. This is much more for speaking. Good. An elder sister. Get the intonation. An elder sister. I have an elder sister. I have an elder sister. Good. And here's the trick, right? The big trick is when you're learning this and you've practiced repeating, you then make your phrases true about you. Make it true about your life will help you learn the phrase because you have to think. Repeating is automatic pilot. Something true makes you think. So for me, in reality, I have a big brother. It's a TV show, right? I have a big brother or an elder brother, and I have an elder sister. My big sister is 7 years older than me. My big brother is 5 years older than me. I'm the little one, the youngest in the family. Can you see when I'm talking about me, I really have to think and get the grammar and the vocabulary. It's a really simple way to deepen your learning of vocabulary. Try it. Great question. Not normally. No. I have a bigger sister. No. You'd say a big sister, but not bigger. No. Good question. How do I say the middle one, middle sister? No, we don't say middle sister. No. You have a younger sister, an elder sister, and then we can say I have a sister. You can say I have a sister, she's the one in the middle, or I'm the one in the middle. Actually, in my family, my brother is the one in the middle, right? So you'd say the one in the middle. It's the only thing that really sounds correct. So I would say my brother is the one in the middle. My brother is the one in the middle. In your case, Dine, my sister is the one in the middle. That's how we would express it, right? Good question. Great. I can see you practicing. Nice. Excellent. Good. This is really good practice for you guys. It'll really help you. And it's interesting, right? Ibrahim. Great. Ah, interesting. So how are you? There's 3 of you, I'm assuming, or maybe more. Okay. I'm just going to help you to help everybody. My sister is the one in the middle. Okay. Excellent. Nice. Fatima and Sora, question about improving your listening. It's a big question. I won't answer it now, but we are going to do lots of listening today, so you'll get lots of chance to practice. So, for example, I have an elder brother and a younger sister. It's not true. It's an example. My little sister is 2 years younger than me. Okay, so you can be using comparatives. I'm the oldest of 3 children. Or my brother is the one in the middle. Let's add that, okay, to give you some nice examples, right? Talking about family. And do remember to be an only child, to have no brothers or sisters. I'm an only child. I'm an only child. Again, make it true for you. I'm not an only child. I'm not an only child. My daughter is an only child. She has no siblings. I'm not an only child. And my wife is not an only child. She has a brother. She has a little brother. Can you see how you're telling your story? You're building up all this lovely, lovely language. Great. This is interesting. Kuso. I'm an only child in my family. I have no siblings. I've imagined I had siblings. That is interesting. Yes. It's not weird. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. Absolutely fine to say it as well. Definitely writing, but it's okay to speak it. Interesting. Excellent. Very good practice. I'm the elder sister of 2 girl siblings. I'm the elder sister of 2 girl siblings. Yes, I'm the elder of 2 siblings, of 2 girls, siblings. Yes, okay. Yes. Yes. Got you, Ibrahim. You're 3 of you. Good. I have 1 younger brother and 2 sisters. Total, I have 3 siblings. Great. Good. That's nice. This is a nice developing of your sentences, giving a bit more information. Excellent. Great. I'm going to help you just a little bit with this one, because remember, he always makes with us. He makes me laugh. Nice. I have the only brother. He's 6 years younger. It's good, Alexandra. Good. I'm just going to help you again. I have, instead of the, it sounds a bit strange to say the. It sounds like you're the only person in the world with the one only brother. Use an. It's correct, right? I have an only brother. Like this one, I am an only child. Use an, and you're perfect. You're there. I know what you mean, Eva. I know what you mean. But isn't it interesting that parents always talk about their children as children? Even when you're 50, my parents would talk about me as the children. And we're 50 years old. They're like, oh, what are we going to do about the children? I'm like, hello? I'm 50 years old. I'm not a child, but in a parent's head, you're always the children. And I think it's the same with your big brother, right? You know, my brother says, I'm the little brother. I'm like, hello, I'm 58, little. I mean, I'm short. I'm not that short, but I'm not big. But, you know, the little brother. The younger brother works because it's age, but the little brother sounds like little boy. It's interesting. It makes me laugh. English makes me laugh. Interesting comment. Okay, good. Yes, now if you've got a sister who is neither older nor younger, but the same age, you were born together, then you have a twin sister. I have a twin sister. Yeah, I have a twin sister. That's nice. Very, very good. Thanks for reminding me all about that. I'm the last son. You can say that. So you're the youngest son or the last one. Okay, great. Let me move on. let me move on from that to number 2, which is neighborhood. Just talking about where you live, which is also quite specific to family, right? A neighborhood. I've got the British spelling because I am British. We have OU. In America, it's just without the U, right? Or is it without the O? I forget. Oh, the Americans. Neighborhood, OU. Yeah, Americans without the U, excuse me. A neighborhood. You can see the stress is on the nay, a neighborhood. And just notice the pronunciation, it's an A. That sound in English is not E, it's A. Can you see the mouth changes? A. It's like you're eating. A. So it's a neighborhood. A neighborhood. But it's not neighbor, it's B. Neighborhood. Because we stress nay and we don't stress B. Neighborhood. Can you say? Neighborhood. A neighborhood. A quiet neighborhood. Let's check the meaning. A neighborhood is the area around your home. Okay? It can be the streets, it can be the quarter or the bigger area. In the countryside, collocations, we talk about a rural neighborhood. Repeat with me. A rural neighborhood. That's a difficult word, right? Rural. Rural. Yellow rolly. That we have this a tongue twister to practice the r. Yellow lorry, red lorry. Yellow lorry, red lorry. A lorry is a truck. Yellow lorry, red lorry. Yellow lorry, red lorry. If you can say that 3 times quickly, it'd be good for your r. Yellow lorry, red lorry. Yellow lorry, red lorry. Yellow lorry, red lorry. Rural neighborhood. Come on, Keith. A rural neighborhood. A remote neighborhood. Stress the moat. A remote neighborhood. Or a neighborhood out in the sticks. Get the intonation. D. A neighborhood out in the sticks. Hear the stress? A neighborhood out in the sticks. Disco. A neighborhood out in the sticks. Yeah. Got it. So that's collocations for countryside. For example, I live in a remote neighborhood out in the sticks. It's quite true, actually. If you're in the city, collocations could be an urban neighborhood. Urban. Look at my mouth. Urban. An urban neighborhood. An urban neighborhood. A suburban neighborhood. A suburban neighborhood. It's the same thing, but doing that. So urban is an area in the city. Suburban is an area next to the city. Like outskirt, suburb, outskirt, it's the same. Suburban is the adjective. So listen and practice. An urban neighborhood. A suburban neighborhood. Yeah. For example, I prefer to live in a suburban neighborhood. It's quiet, but close to the city. Something true for me. I live in a rural neighborhood. It's quite remote. It's not really out in the sticks. It's only 15 minutes from the city, but I prefer a rural neighborhood rather than an urban neighborhood because the urban neighborhood is a bit too noisy for me. That's it. Something true for me. Is the neighborhood a hometown? No, not really. No. Neighborhood is the small area near your home. The hometown is the whole city or the whole town. So Manchester is my hometown. But the neighborhood is very, very small. It's only 2 or 3 streets. Oh, Rajita, goodbye. Yeah, I am a Limerick, you know. I've got Irish roots. Interesting, Richard. Yeah, I live in the province of Leyte in the Philippines. Which surrounded, yes, which is surrounded, nice, by lots of beaches with a lively neighborhood. Yeah, very good. Richard, nice. I live in an urban neighborhood. Out in the sticks, a bit derogatory. It's a very good question. It can be. It can be. For me, I think it's quite positive. But certainly some people, yeah, use it as a bit negative or derogatory. I think it depends on the context and the person. Rural neighborhood. Well, like me, so it means the area is not the houses, it's the area. So the rural neighborhood is the fields. So near me, I've got one street, about 5 houses, and then fields. No shops, no bars. Oh, there's a church in the village. But a rural neighborhood can be the fields, maybe the other houses, maybe a farm, maybe a village and a little shop, maybe. So remember, the neighborhood is the area. It can be streets, it can be lakes, it can be mountains, it can be fields. Nice question. I like it very much. Yes. Great. Welcome. Nice to see you. New people here. Great. Urban means in the city, right? Urban just means an area in the city, connected to the city. So rural means connected to the countryside, and urban is connected to the city. They're similar. Rural and countryside are similar. Not exactly, but very, very similar. Similar meaning, yes. Right. Interesting, yes. How should I express my neighborhood if I lived in a big piece of land surrounded by boundaries and there are independent houses of my uncle's built along with my home? It's hard for me to say because I can't see it. Is it in the city or is it in the countryside? So I don't know if it's. It sounds like it's rural. You live in a rural area, but not a built-up area. Although there's some houses, independent houses. It sounds like me a little bit, but without the uncles. Maybe it's an urban. It might be a suburban area if there are lots of houses, but it's a bit out in the countryside. It's hard to know without seeing it, to be honest. Suburban, right? Yeah, it sounds like a suburban area. Okay, guys, let's move on from that. I'm going to do another one from the story. To gather around, one of the activities that the family can do to gather round or gather around is to come together around a particular place. In the story, Lee and his family, they gathered around the fireplace and shared meals. Do you remember the fire? And they would sit around or gather around. So it means to come together and do something and share meals. They shared meals. Or the family gathered round the table and played card games. Okay. Similar words to huddle round. Huddle is a great word. To huddle round or to get together. For example, we huddled round the table and played cards. So we all sat round the table together. Huddle just has a meaning of warmth, of being together and being warm. Huddle together. Friends huddle together. Family huddle together. In a business meeting, you don't really huddle together. It's not like warm. I think in a business meeting, you gather together. But in a family, you can huddle together. It's just a bit warmer, the feeling. Or we got together around the table and drank tea. Why not? Just noticing the grammar, I said we gathered round. You can use the simple past. There are two other ways we can express the past if we're talking in the past. Can you tell me? Yep, family gathering, have a gathering, yes. Particularly a family gathering. Family gathering. That's very common, actually. Very, very good. Amarilis, nice to see you. Take care. Enjoy your work. Ibrahim, lovely example. Yes. Yes, exactly. Well done, Kuso. We used to gather around the table. We used to. Harry, interesting. We got to. Yes, we got to gather around the table. You can also use got. Yes. I'm going to have to have. I've got to do 4 now. That's right. I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. We got to gather around the table. We used to gather around the table. Would, exactly. Yes, and Daniela as well. We would gather. Okay. So notice, I'll just make this really clear. We used to gather. We got to gather, or we would. No to. We would gather. Okay, just notice the different ways. Help if I could make it clear that you can use this in the past. Okay. Excellent. Good. Okay. Jenna, nice example. I'm just going to help you as well. When you're talking in the past, make sure you keep it in the past. My relatives huddled around each other and enjoyed our tea time. Yes. We gathered in Keith's kitchen virtually. Here we are. It's the Airbnb kitchen. But yeah, good example. Very, very good. Jack, both. Both are okay. Yeah. Just going back. Both are okay. Yeah. Around or round, it's good. Good question. Yep. It's a good example, Richard. I'm just going to help you as well with the tense. We used to gather, so used to get together in the shore, and used to have barbecue. So just be careful with the tenses, right, when you're expressing the past, but good. Vera, nice to see you. Used to get together, guess. The good old days, hey? The good old days. Yes, I know what you mean. Very nice. Let me move on to the last one, which is to raise someone. To raise someone, raise as in a, again, watch the mouth. A, raise. Our mouths move a lot in English. There's a lot of, the sound is not from here. The sound is normally from the front of your mouth. That's where you make a lot of the English sounds with your lips and your teeth. Raise. Raise children. Means to take care of someone or something until they are an adult. I'm just going to turn off. No, I'm not going to turn off the light. I'll do it later. They raised and educated him with love. From the story, right? Lee's parents. My parents raised me to be honest. Okay, raised in the past. Notice that we often use the passive when you're talking about yourself. I was raised in Manchester. I was brought up in Manchester by my grandmother. But grow up is not used in the passive. Right? We say, I grew up in Manchester. Okay. I was raised by my parents. I was brought up by my grandmother. I was raised in Manchester. But I grew up in Manchester. Can you tell me about your IELTS band score? I'm a band 9, my friend. Good. I was raised and born. It's good. Normally, we'd say the other way around. I was born and raised, because that's the order. But yes, you're correct. Yes. Good point, Eva. Used to means we don't do it anymore. Exactly. Exactly. Richard, you're getting better and better. Nice. My parents passed away when I was little. I was raised by... Great. Very good example. Just be careful here. I was raised. So you need the passive. I was raised by my uncle. If he's French, yes, but otherwise, uncle. I was raised by my uncle. Oh, you want to raise something. You can raise animals, right? You can raise pigs. You can raise cows. We can use it for animals as well as people. Normally people, and I'll explain why in a moment, but we can use both. Because there's nobody makes you grow up. You can't say I was grown up by my parents. Your parents don't make you grow up. You grow up. But your parents raise you. So raise is with the passive, but grow up cannot be passive because it's you, right? It's like eat, I eat. You can't say I was eaten. Well, unless you go to the zoo and the lion eats you. But you don't say I was eaten. You say I eat vegetables. I grew up in Manchester. It's a lovely question. Thank you so much. I was raised in London. Yes. Now, if you raise an animal, then it's not passive. It's just normal. It's active. I raised my cat. I raised my cat when I was in my country, right? Exactly. Okay. Collocations, I'll explain. We can raise children. You can raise a family. You can raise chickens, right? Raise chickens. Normally, this is used with farm animals normally. It's normally like raising cows, chickens, sheep. It's normally in the farm context. Normally. Doesn't have to be, but often is. Similar words: to bring up, to educate, to rear. Interesting. To rear animals, to rear children. You can use both of those. There's a common saying: if your family didn't raise you up, the street will. If the family didn't raise you, the street will. Yes. With raise, you don't need up. If the family didn't raise you, the street will. Probably true, yes. I was raised in Bangladesh is good. MG, let me just help you a little bit. I was raised always by. I was raised by my grandmother. I was raised by. I was raised in a place. I was raised by my grandmother. I was raised by my parents. Yeah, nice. Okay. I was reared. Normally not the passive, normally active. I reared sheep. I reared cows. I reared my children. You can also say it's normally animals, but you can use it with people as well. Yeah. Julia says, I raised a flock of rabbits. A flock of rabbits? Is it a flock of rabbits? It's a flock of sheep. Is it a flock of rabbits? That's an interesting question. What do we say? A flock of rabbits? You might be right. I think isn't there a colony of rabbits? A warren of rabbits. A warren of rabbits or a colony. I've heard of warren definitely before. This is high-level vocabulary, Julia. I raised a warren of rabbits in my flat and they are roaming around there. Yes. I'm living in a suburban area. It means an area in the middle of the city. No. So urban is in the middle of the city. Suburban is outside the city. Okay. Urban is city. Suburban is around the city. Okay. Great. Let's move on. Lots of interesting comments coming up. I'm going to move on. So we've been looking at vocabulary and we've been looking at family, the story of Lee. Remember Rags to Riches, chapter 1. Here's what happens in chapter 2. So Lee was brought up by his loving parents in the countryside. They lived in a rural neighborhood, and then this happened. Chapter 2, Beijing. Lee moved to Beijing with his sister, his little sister, and set up a business that became very successful and famous. He was a success. So Lee started making lots of money. What I want to do now, I want to do a listening activity with you. And I want us to listen to this interview with Mr. Lee. So Lee has now grown into a man. He's a famous and successful businessman. Okay? We're going to listen, only listen, and I want you to answer the question, what did his father like to do? What did his father like to do? Okay? Just give me a thumbs up if you're ready to listen. Cool. So let's listen. Here's the interview with Lee as a man now. And remember the question, what did his father like to do? Here we go.
So here we are with Mr. Lee, a famous and successful businessman from China with one of the biggest e-commerce platforms in the country. Mr. Lee, let's get back to your roots. Tell us about your family home. Oh, my family home back in the village was really special. It was a simple traditional house, but really warm and cozy. Without a doubt, my favorite room was the dining room. There was this massive fireplace and we would huddle around the fire on dark winter nights. I remember my dad was one for storytelling and he used to tell us incredible tales of our ancestors. I was never sure if he made up the stories or if they were true, but that upbringing and the love of telling a good story is something that actually helped me build our business to the success it is today.
What did his father like to do? Let me know in the chat. I'm only a nursing student. What do you mean only? That's great. Yeah. Very, very good. Very, very good. Let me land on Akil Shah's storytelling. What did his father like to do? Yeah, he liked to tell stories. Exactly. Spot on. Very, very good. Now, we're going to listen again to this story. And this is the bingo, okay? I want you to mark the exact words mentioned. And when you have a line of 3, you type bingo in the chat. A line of 3, I mean, if you get these 3, then that's a line, okay? Or if you get 3 across, or if you get 3 diagonal, you make bingo. You have to mark the exact words mentioned. So if you hear in the story, blah, 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 family home, you mark this one. If they say blah, 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 big home, then it doesn't work. It must be the exact same words, and then you mark that. When you've got a line of 3, type bingo in the chat. Simple. Ready? Listening bingo? Let's do it. Here we go.
So here we are with Mr. Lee, a famous and successful businessman from China with one of the biggest e-commerce platforms in the country. Mr. Lee, let's get back to your roots. Tell us about your family home. Oh, my family home back in the village was really special. It was a simple traditional house, but really warm and cozy. Without a doubt, my favorite room was the dining room. There was this massive fireplace and we would huddle around the fire on dark winter nights. I remember my dad was one for storytelling and he used to tell us incredible tales of our ancestors. I was never sure if he made up the stories or if they were true, but that upbringing and the love of telling a good story is something that actually helped me build our business to the success it is today.
Ooh. We've got a bingo, but I need you to tell me which ones, right? You've got A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Tell me what the ones are. Sonia as well. Tell me the ones you've highlighted, the letters. Akil Shah, thank you. Nursing student family home, without a doubt, incredible tales, building our business. So which are the ones? Here we've got A1, B2, C3. Iona has the same. Kuso has the same. Tommy, warm and cozy. Oh, it says small and cozy, not warm and cozy. Be careful. Gather round, without a doubt. Right, Abditafa, you've gone for this one over here. ABC. Family home, without a doubt, build our business. A1, B2, C2. But it has to be 3 in a line. It has to be across, down, or diagonal. Very interesting. Lots of different ideas. Let me play again, and I will mark the answer as it comes up, and then you'll see the bingo. Here we go. Let's listen again.
So here we are with Mr. Lee, a famous and successful businessman from China with one of the biggest e-commerce platforms in the country. Mr. Lee, let's get back to your roots. Tell us about your family home. Oh, my family home back in the village was really special. It was a simple traditional house, but really warm and cozy. Without a doubt, my favorite room was the dining room. There was this massive fireplace and we would huddle around the fire on dark winter nights. I remember my dad was one for storytelling and he used to tell us incredible tales of our ancestors. I was never sure if he made up the stories or if they were true, but that upbringing and the love of telling a good story is something that actually helped me build our business to the success it is today.
So there are 4. The line of 3 is A1. Whoops, let me make it clearer. B2 and C3. That's the bingo. So well done, those of you who got it right. Nice. Okay. Excellent. Good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the script. You can listen and see the script at the same time, which will just help you identify the words as we go along. If you're preparing for IELTS, this is very similar to a part 2 question. Describe your family home and your favorite room. In the interview, that's what he says, right? Tell us about your family home and your favorite room. This might be a part 2 kind of question that you get in IELTS for your information, okay? So let's do it. Let's listen and you can read at the same time.
So here we are with Mr. Lee, a famous and successful businessman from China with one of the biggest e-commerce platforms in the country. Mr. Lee, let's get back to your roots. Tell us about your family home. Oh, my family home back in the village was really special. It was a simple traditional house, but really warm and cozy. Without a doubt, my favorite room was the dining room. There was this massive fireplace and we would huddle around the fire on dark winter nights. I remember my dad was one for storytelling and he used to tell us incredible tales of our ancestors. I was never sure if he made up the stories or if they were true, but that upbringing and the love of telling a good story is something that actually helped me build our business to the success it is today.
Right. Good. Yes, straightforward. We've talked about huddle around. He says weed, we'd huddle around. To be one for something means to like. I am one for storytelling. I like storytelling. I'm one for cooking. I like cooking. A tale is a story. Amazing stories, incredible tales. Ancestors is another topic-specific word. It's your grandparents and their and their parents, etc., etc. So basically, it's all the family who came before, right? Your ancestors. It's your family who lived before you. Your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, your great-great-great-great-grandparents. We call them, great as in wonderful, great-grandparents or your grandparents' parents. To make up a story is to invent a story. And telling a story helped him build our business to the success it is today. You'll find out more about that in the story. We've had chapter 1, chapter 2 of the story. We'll do a bit more. But first, I feel like I'm in a discotheque. We've been looking at vocabulary. I'm just going to catch up where we are. We've done the listening bingo. I've got a family joke. Here we go. Very simple joke, just to change the pace a little bit. I'm just checking your questions. Good. No, interesting comments. Family joke. Here's my family joke for you. It's a joke for children. Talking of family, so this is a kind of joke that you tell children or children tell their parents. Can you get the answer here? Why didn't the teddy bear eat dessert? Why didn't the teddy bear eat dessert? Try and find out the answer. Nathan Che 77, thanks for joining. Michael Gottlieb, I am one. Yes, I am one for. Not the, I am one for music. I'm one for gardening. Me too. Palpalu, the lights are annoying me. I don't know why it's doing it. I think I can turn it out. Turn it off. There you go. I think I've turned it off. Yeah. Great answer. Oh, nice. Let me give you a clue. This picture is a clue. Nice, Tommy. I'm one for watering the flowers. Good. Very good. How do they eat themselves? Teddy bears can't eat themselves. Right, yes. You're there. You're basically there, right? Why didn't the teddy bear eat dessert? Because he was stuffed. He was stuffed. And here, of course, it's playing on the two meanings, right? To be stuffed has two meanings. It can mean to be filled with a foam or a sponge. So teddy bears on the inside, it's a kind of foam or a sponge or a cloth. But to be stuffed can also mean to be full from too much food. So he can't eat the dessert because, well, he's stuffed. Obviously, he doesn't eat, but also it means he's full from too much food. So it's a play on words on the word stuffed. Because I was stuffed. Exactly. Laetitia, let me explain, because I can see quite a few comments about this expression. Just to make it really clear, to be one for doing something. Whoops. So not the one, but to be one for doing something equals to like doing it. Okay, my dad was one for telling jokes. Right? It means he liked telling jokes. He did it regularly. I guess it's that idea. It's liking and doing it regularly. I am one for listening to music when I read books. Yep. I like listening to music when I read. My dad was one for telling jokes. I am one for listening. So it's I am one for plus ing. So doing. Whoops. To be one for. Simple, nice expression. I hope that clarifies it. Laetitia, thanks for the question. I noticed a few people were asking or getting confused, let's say. Good. Teddy bears. He was stuffed. Very, very good. Right, excellent. What's next? What's after the family joke? I've completely forgot. We must be getting... Oh, making vocabulary stick. Yes, I want to give you a tip about making vocabulary stick. And it's a very, very simple... It's more than a tip. It's a system. And here's the thing, right, with vocabulary. I noticed a lot of people say, I love the live lesson, but I forget a lot of the new words. Because we do look at a lot of new words. Here's the thing, right? The way most people learn vocabulary is this. They see a new word, they make a note, like put the word and then put a translation in their language. For example, to be one for, me gusta hacer, or gustar hacer algo. And then they forget about it. Boom. And it goes. And it disappears. And they have a conversation and they go, oh, what was that? One something, one, ¿cómo era? Me gustar qué? ¿Cómo? And you forget all about it. There is a very simple system, right? And I talk about this a lot, but I want you to get this system, right? It's so easy. Simple system to learn words and make them stick, right? First step, discover the new word. Like today, we have discovered these words through the story of Mr. Lee. Repeat and pronounce it. And this is what I've done, right, today with you. Get you to repeat and pronounce. Like rural, rural, or urban, urban, raise. And really get you to see the mouth, get the pronunciation, and repeat it. Of course, it's good for you to make a note, and I'm sure a lot of you are making notes, and then make phrases. So make extra phrases. raise. I was raised in Manchester. I was raised by my parents. And you'll remember when I said make phrases that are true for you, it's deeper, it's more interesting, it's more engaging. So as you're making these phrases, make them true for you. Talk about you. My brother was raised in Manchester, of course. He's my brother. We were all brought up by my parents. And so you're practicing and practicing, right? Making phrases. But then there's more. What you need then is to hear them in different contexts. So the story today, you're able to hear again and again all of these words. And you can test yourself. If you can test yourself, it's a good way to help remember them. And then review again. Review with stories, with songs, visualizations, podcasts. So the vocabulary from today's lesson, you can get from the PDF. This PDF I'll give you later. There are stories as well you can use, and there's a podcast that you can get. So this system, you can follow this system for all of the vocabulary that you do and for my live lessons. If you want this with the PDF and the stories and the podcast and the tests and the quiz all together, you can get it in my vocabulary vault. Okay. It's a ready-made system. I've got 22 topics in the vocabulary vault that you can go into and study and get all of the information, right? Let me show you, if I can, just how you can find it and where you can find it. In fact, I'm going to ask Burns, I'm hoping Burns is here, to help me just show, or you can give the link to everybody to get it. And I will show you inside. I'm assuming I can get it. Am I inside? Oh, no, I can't show you inside. Why can't I get inside? That's interesting. Thank you, Burns. Burns has given you a link there so you can see it. If you follow the link, you'll be able to see inside. And I will show you just over here. Hello. The link just goes you. It shows you, well, it tells you the problem of learning vocabulary, how the vocabulary vault can help you with this. Inside, you've got pronunciation PDFs and MP3s to practice the speaking. There are interactive quizzes to test yourself, and there are 20 storybooks so you can review all of the language. Okay, really is a good way to help make this stick. There are some bonuses. There are some visualization audios which review the language through a visualization. It's like a meditation. You can download the whole course as a podcast, so you can listen to it and practice it again and again. If you're a B1 level up to and above, or a B2 level, this will be good for you. You can do it with 15 minutes a day, and you can get it by joining now. You just press the join button, enter the information. It's normally 47, but we're reducing it for you guys today to 17. Just put in your card information, your email, and you can get it straight away to sign up for the Vocabulary Vault. Making vocabulary stick. You don't have to get the Vocabulary Vault. It's just an extra way for you to study. The system is the important thing, right? And the system is following this system. Vocabulary Vault gives it all to you, including today's topic about family. The PDF, the quizzes and the stories are all in there as well. So if you want to get into this system of making vocabulary stick, there you have it, the Vocabulary Vault. Lovely. Good. What's next? Eye on the clock. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you, we did chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. I'm going to give you chapter 3 now. What happens next, right? Thanks for the presentation. You're very, very welcome. Very welcome. I enjoy listening to stories in English. A visual person. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Eva, good question. How to make the new word stick if there are plenty of different meanings? When you learn a new word, focus on one meaning. You don't need to learn all the different meanings. Just focus on one meaning and learn that for the context you're in. Forget the rest. You will discover those in different contexts at different moments. Otherwise, it's too much, right? You can really only learn 4, 5 new words a day. Really? So forget the other meanings. Just focus on the one meaning for that context. Daniela says, from time to time, I review the Vocabulary Vault. It's very, very useful. Thank you for sharing. Great. Great. We're not quite finished. We still have, what do I want to do? I want to take that off. I'll take Daniela off and come over here. Let me tell you chapter 3, or at least part of chapter 3. In Beijing, Li's family business hit difficult times. Tough competition was everywhere and the pressure was mounting. Mounting means increasing. Li and his sister, Xiao, were sometimes at each other's throats. To be at each other's throats means to argue strongly. Rah, 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 rah. Li and his sister were sometimes at each other's throats and even thought about selling the business. But a trip back to their village changed everything. What did it change? Find out what happened in the Vocabulary Vault. In the Vocabulary Vault, you'll get chapter 3, chapter 4, the full story to discover what happened. For today, we've got one more activity, I think, to finish up. And if I remember rightly, I think it's time for Kahoot. Does anybody like Kahoot? Kahoot is the game we're going to play to review some of the vocabulary from today's lesson. Let me get into Kahoot and you guys can get ready to play. Right, here we are. Oh, not here. I've just got to log in. So the way this works is I'm going to give you 4 questions. You have a multiple choice. You choose A, B, C, or D to answer. You put in the right answer, and you're away. You need to go to kahoot.it to put in your name and the PIN. Okay, let me show you. Come with me. We're going to go into Kahootopia, into the island. And you just need to go, I'm going to go into classic mode, get ready to join. Go to kahoot.it, put in your name, and this is the PIN, 804370. That's the PIN you need to put in at Kahoot.it. I'll give you a few moments to get logged in. Sabrina, thank you for your comment. Olga Beck, I'll explain about the PDF in a few moments at the end of the lesson. Musharif, for reviewing vocabulary, the news or stories, both of them are good. Okay, we've got a lot of you getting in here. Grandma, welcome. Just give you a few more seconds. Okay, I think we've got plenty of people in. Don't worry if you haven't got into Kahoot. You can put your answer in the chat and we'll still see it there. Okay, let's start. 4 questions. You get 30 seconds. 30 seconds for you to look at the 4 different answers, choose the right answer. Here we go. Rags to riches. I don't have any siblings. I'm an blank child. Single, unique, only, lonely. I don't have any siblings. I'm a blank child. Single, unique, only, or lonely. Choose the right answer. Oh, very good. We got 34 of you have got only. I'm an only child. Yes. Single, no. Unique, no. And lonely, it cannot be because it's an. Okay. Okay, nice. Good. Let's see the leaderboard. Kristin, you're at the top. Well done. March is second. Momo is third. Kuso, fourth. Tony, fifth. Question number 2. He lives in a remote house out in the blank. Tree, sticks, rocks, stones. He lives in a remote house out in the blank. Tree, sticks, rocks or stones. What do you think, guys? Yay, sticks. He lives out in the sticks. A lot of you said tree. He doesn't live in a tree. Surely people don't live in trees, do they? No, not most people. He lives out in the sticks means far away in the countryside, right? Out in the sticks. Let's check the board. Wow, the top 4 are the same. Kristin's still at the top. March second, Mama third. Ragtag, you've come up. And Koala is the highest climber. Maybe Koala lives in the tree, I guess. Question 3. Which is the odd one out? Which is different? Educate, raise, bring up, huddle. Which one is different? Educate, raise, bring up, or huddle? Yay, the vast majority of you got it right. To huddle. To huddle is to gather round or to come together. The others is all to grow up, right? You're born and you grow up, or your parents raise you, they educate you, they bring you up. all the same meaning. Huddle is the different one. Here we go. Oh, Christine and March, you're still at the top. Kuso has moved up. There's an only child has moved up. And Grandma, slowly but surely, has come into 5th place. Here we go. The last question. This is an urban house in the blank. City, countryside, sticks, mountains. This is an urban house in the blank. City, countryside, sticks, or mountains. Yay, city. So the meaning of urban is related to the city. Something urban is in the city, right? Urban house in the city. Urban neighborhood in the city. The others is the opposite. Countryside, mountains, in the sticks is rural. So well done. Nice. Oh, who is the winner? Let's find out. Grandma, well done. 3rd place. March, well done. And the winner, Christine. Awesome. Very well done. Very, very nice. And well done, all of you. Excellent. Look at that. Claim rewards. What happens when you claim rewards? 31% correct. Not bad. Listen, well done, everybody. You did a great, great job today. Very, very good. Just to recap what we've been doing today, we have been looking at the topic of family. We've been discovering language with a story, the story of Li and his sibling, Xiao. We've analysed vocabulary like sibling, gather round, neighbourhood, this family topic specific vocabulary. We've done a listening to improve your listening skills and build up more language. We had the joke about the teddy bear. And we've looked at making vocabulary stick. If you're interested in doing that, there's a whole system, 22 topics in the vocabulary vault. And the vocabulary vault can help you build up your vocabulary, not just in your head to make it stick, but so you can use it more fluently in conversations. Ideal for IELTS students. The 20 topics, actually there's 22 topics now, are all IELTS topics. And the one today, family, is in there as well. So you can find out what happened to Li and his sister, Xiao, actually at the very, very end. And we've finished up with Kahoot. And that brings us to the end of our session today. Just to remind you about the PDF today. So we've got this PDF and I've actually got a song for you today. We've taken all of the language and made a song. But if you want to get the PDF, go to the Keith Speaking Academy website. So that's keithspeakingacademy.com. Free live lessons. Later today, we will update this. I do these lessons once a month. The live lesson is the first Thursday of the month. So the next one will be April. At the start of April, actually, it'll be April the 2nd. We'll have a live lesson. On Saturdays, I have a recorded video on YouTube to help you. But we'll be updating this later today and you can download the PDF here. If you want to join the course, go to the courses, go down to the vocabulary vault. Normally, the vocabulary vault is actually $47, but if you follow the link that we've put in the chat today, there's a big reduction for it. You can get it today for much cheaper. Just follow the link. I'll ask Burns again if you can put the links in there for the vocabulary vault, and you can get it there. And that's where we are. What else? I'm trying to remember. Is there anything else? I'm going to finish on a song. I hope, yes. So thank you. I mean, thank you very much for the free life lesson. Yes, it's a pleasure. I really do enjoy being here. I enjoy teaching you all and sharing, you know, not just the language, but getting to speak. I really want you to get speaking, whether it's just repeating with me or practicing intonation to start speaking out, because so many students know English, but they're not speaking it. So it's the Keith Speaking Academy for a reason, right? Gets you speaking. So you're very, very welcome. To help you review, we've got the song about Lee. We had the story. Let's have a listen to the song. I will see you next month, April the 2nd, for another live lesson. You can join me in the courses. Next week, we have a live lesson. If you want to join the IELTS Speaking Gold course, in the Gold course, we have live lessons next week and the week after, as well as we also have Zoom meetings there as well. So if you're interested in the IELTS Speaking Gold bundle, there are 3 courses. We have live lessons next week and the week after. Keep you speaking, and the speaking practice rooms where you can practice lots as well. So that's a full IELTS preparation, IELTS speaking preparation course if you're interested. Okay. For today, let's finish with a song, and it's all about Lee and his sister and family. Family Bonds, it's called. And let me see. Any other questions came up before I rush away and leave you all? You're very, very welcome, Jesus. It's my pleasure. Eva, you're also very welcome. Also good. I am your Christian. See you soon. Congratulations, by the way. Thank you, Dassel. I appreciate it. Let's have a listen. Family Bonds. Yes, in the gold.
Out in the sticks, far from the town, a small old house with fields all around. Lee had a sibling, a sister so kind. They shared their dreams and spoke their mind. Each evening they would gather round the fireplace warm, safe and sound. Their parents worked to bring them up well, to raise them strong. As you can tell, they walked 2 miles to buy some bread. Simple lives the family led, but in that home love was strong. It helped them grow their whole life long. From a small village far away to a city bright one day, with hope inside and dreams so wide, brother and sister side by side. After school, they moved away to Beijing City, busy and great, college life and future plans, building dreams with his own 2 hands. With his sister and their uncle too, they knew exactly what to do. They set up a business in the town, working hard, not backing down. Long, long days and sleepless nights, learning how to win their fights. Slowly, slowly, they could see their hard work brought success to be. From a small village far away to a city bright one day, with hope inside and dreams so wide, brother and sister side by side, side by
Thank you for watching. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Pleasure, as always. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Keep studying. Stay motivated. Cheerio, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care.